Before I get into this evening's live, or this mid-afternoon live, I would like to explain not only why I'm coming on live now, but the agenda here this mid-afternoon. So I can't come on this evening at my normal 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or tomorrow at my normal 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but because tonight, the 12-year-old has um, an orchestra concert, and that should be interesting, or a music concert, and then tomorrow the senior 17-year-old has a orchestra concert, which is her last. So she's done. This will be, well, it's in the series of her last one, so her last Christmas one. So not missing any of those, but I still want to do my live, so I figured I'd come on now and we'll do an hour together and we'll be able to do what we need to do. We'll get on the same page. It'll be unfortunate for the next couple days. We can't do it until the flip of the clock because I like to see what it looks like at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with everybody live. But we'll still be able to do the lives and it'll still keep us, within on the charts. As we can see today, down 2.77%. I see a lot of panic, but we haven't turned that corner yet to where you'd be like, uh-oh. We're not even close to there, actually. We haven't even come close to even breaking any kind of uptrend or anything. We're kind of doing the traditional step up and down. So it's pretty interesting how the charts look. The dragon pattern's still in full effect. Some people are like the dragon tail came down and it shit us out, basically, but that's not technically true. I can understand why we want it to shoot right up to the head. But there's oftentimes consolidation. That dragon's tail is pretty damn long and scraggly. It's like, so it's not just either up or down. It's not just going to happen overnight. The good news is XDC was listed early this AM on HOTCOIN, and the even better news is I showed everybody before you go and buy where I'm targeting to have my exposure. So just, even though I want to own it, I'm not just going to jump head first in until it gets to a number. And like I said earlier, we'll see if it holds this uptrend, but if not, we could very well have a buy-in target right around 7 cents. You can buy in wherever you want because I'm going to start buying, in segments because I want to have 30,000 plus with XDC, but I also don't want to go head first in because unlike with the rest of them, I did not get to buy it when I wanted to, and I had to get rid of it when I got rid of Uphold back in April, and yet this is the first chance I'm going to get to buy it. And the good news is with XDC, you can use their wallet, but you can actually send it off of HOTCOIN. You can withdraw it via the XFin network if you want to get it off the exchange and go to the XDC wallet. And I'm still researching more on the XDC wallet because that's probably the route I'm going to go. But from all accounts, Garda would be the XFin XDC wallet, would be the Garda wallet. At least that's one of the ones that I've noticed has the highest, for whatever reason, it's the most trusted amongst a lot of what I've read. But it's interesting. It was an interesting one. It just, I know you can earn with staking on that one, but every time I see staking, it always makes me like, unless that's enough. So I've got to do more research, but it's good to know that they at least have it on HOTCOIN now. It made me pretty happy. See all the consolidation, but it made me happy about XDC. Very happy. It's pretty interesting where XRP Healthcare came to because we talked about this back test on how this has been riding the breakout point, and the longer it rides it, the more bullish it is. It's just going to be an even bigger springboard. It's just the number is going to be a little bit lower on the initial, push up, and this is starting to make a little bit more sense now. Because now look, now we're basically coming up to where we're closer to a double top scenario. I'm getting rid of this so it's not so hard to see. But that's what it would be setting up at right now if it still breaks out. It still, to me, feels very bullish here on this pattern. It looks like it's going to pull up here and just have a springboard. But we'll see because this isn't, for me, this isn't going to just be a 1 year thing. This is probably going to take 4 to 5 years for this one to appreciate at least to where I want it to. I don't think this is going to end in the cents. I think this is going to either end in the dollars or in I know it's going to have at least 1 0, but I can't ever tell with XRP Healthcare because they have high ambitions with what they're comparing themselves to as far as price. They show other similar tokens that have utility as such, because this is a utility token, make no mistake about it. And it's fully functionable in the ISO, so it's got 2 legs up, and it's got less than 100 million total circulating supply, which gives it 3 legs up in my opinion. And it's got XRP in the name, you can't go wrong with that. But they're comparing themselves with different things that have already achieved, not in a sense, but the lowest one was $3 and something cents. But then they've got other ones that are at 20. One was at a couple hundred. So they've got high ambitions on what they're showing, at least you in the onset. So I'm interested to ride this one out for a while. It's not the easiest one to attain, especially in the USA. But getting past that, I wanted to read, while we're together, I want to read this because I thought this was an interesting take, or at least what's going on with this. So the XRP price has slipped, and the RLUSD market cap hits 53 million. Liquidations rising. What I find unbelievable still, and I understand I'm just one community, and my videos only get 2,000 views probably, sometimes 3,000 or 4,000. But now I'm pretty routine, at least anything but a short, which somehow gets over 1,000 views on my shorts. But a typical video get over 2,000 views now, which is double from where I started at the start of the year. I would only get 1,000. Now it's like 2,000 for average. But that's not a lot of views when it comes to the amount of XRP eyes that are going to be, or holders, or things like that. So not all the information can possibly get out to everybody. But let me clarify this again. The RLUSD, you do not sell your XRP to hold RLUSD if you're looking for XRP price to appreciate still. If you want to sell out of XRP, and you say, you know what, it's over, I'm done, or any other crypto for that matter, and you're like, I don't want to send it back to the bank account because it's useless. What the hell is the point of putting it back into the US dollar? I want to still keep it in the market, but I just want to be on the sidelines right now. So in the past, some would put it in USDT if you were unwise, but sometimes the exchanges only had USDT, so you do what you have to do to get by and hope that USDT didn't go to zero. Most would put it in USDC if they're in the United States. And just insert your native currency here. Insert CAD here, right? Insert whatever you want here and all this other, whatever your native currency is, by all means. The ZAR. Insert the ZAR. For some of you who know what that is. You know, it's just your native currency. And instead of doing that, you would end up putting it in RLUSD and let it sit there until you're ready to buy again. And then in some cases, they're saying you're going to end up being able to earn interest if you hold an RLUSD, which is not uncommon because it's going to be pegged 1-to-1. They're going to know a balance sheet. But at the same time, it makes you wonder where that money's coming from. So anyhow, you would just hold your money in there while you're waiting for your next opportunity. That's it. Best way of putting it. You're not trading it so that you can get rich. There's so many people. And I kind of blame David Schwartz for feeding into this. Like, it's nonsense. But anyhow, he did what he said. He said what he said. But he basically said some people were willing to pay like $12 million per RLUSD, which, come on now, it's a stable coin. It's worth $1. No one's willing to pay that. And if somebody was, don't let him pay that. That would just be letting some jackass make himself look like an idiot even deeper than he has to. Like, you just call the bullshit and say that's not how a stable coin works. We can't have this happen. Even if I wanted to take your money and it's only worth $1, in good conscience, I can't because it's pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. And if it inflates back and forth like that, well, that's not a pegging. That's depegged and it's useless. It's worthless. The RUSD would fail and nobody would use it. I wouldn't. If it went from $1 to a $1,200 pegging back down to $1 back to 70 cents, like, hell no. The first time it went up to 1,200, I'm cashing out of the RLUSD and I'm never using it again because that's too much volatility. And you don't want that. You don't want that. I don't even know if that's ethical, to be honest with you. So you're only putting it in the RLUSD if you're looking to store your money on a crypto exchange or within the Zaman wallet and you don't want to have it in a token. Like I said, with Zaman, you know, it's being integrated. I think it's already there. But you can sell out of XRP on the DEX and just have it in RLUSD now instead of just having it in whatever the other options were before of your choice. So, but I hope that clarifies it, but we need to get on with this. So make sure to hit that like button. It'll help recommend my channel on YouTube. We can make an even deeper base. And we're already over 30,000. But obviously, I don't expect you to hit the like button if you don't like what you're seeing, if you don't like the information that I'm putting out. Maybe it's not hitting the mark. I'm just saying, if you appreciate it, if you come to the end of this live and you're like, you know what? I wasn't going to hit the like button, but I got some information. Hit that like button so somebody else can get that same information you've gotten. Good evening, or good afternoon. I don't even think I've done the live or the intro, but I'm just going to do it even if I haven't, or if I have. So good afternoon, 2:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let me turn on the comments. The one noticeable thing I am starting to see, and some of you are noticing it, at least validate it for me if some of you in the audience are, is it 25 basis points? That's what I was saying. It's 25 basis points is what I was telling my audience. There's no way they're raising or keeping them the same. I didn't think they could go to 50. I think it would be 25. I mean, unless I'm wrong. Did they say how much it would be? I'll go into the news here in a second. But okay, let's just see what they say about the Fed rate cuts real quick. Fed rate. Is it a 2-day meeting? I thought it was a 2-day meeting. Fed cuts interest rates again. Here, let's read this. This was 43 minutes ago. What the hell is this crap? So Fed signals intent to slow interest rate cuts after approving quarter-point reduction. Yeah, so that's what I figured it would be, 0.25 basis points. So they lowered it by 0.25%. I can't watch that one because that's just giving us a whole bunch of nonsense. So Fed cuts interest rates a third time. Look at all this. Like, can I read from one source without having to be bombarded with trying? Like, think about this. AI's writing these stories. Like, just think about it. Every single one of these, we finally know the truth. They're not, no, the reason why they all sounded the same and humanless when we used to read these articles in the past, they've just had AI to their disposal in the consumer realm instead of the retail realm. Like, we're retail. We didn't have what consumer grade stuff was. They've been using this AI crap to write our newspapers and news stories for decades. And it's obvious as hell now, because I could write the same news piece that most of these are in 2 seconds, and they're trying to charge people. It's craziness. But come on now. Like, look at this. Can I actually read the story? Fed delivers third rate cut of the year, but halves rate cut outlook for 2025. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates by 25 basis points. I think we're already being shadow banned on my comments, so that's a shame. But, you know, it is what it is. What am I going to do? Interest rates by 25 basis points on Wednesday, but halve the number of rate cuts expected for next year as the battle to bring inflation down toward the central bank's target is now expected to take longer than previously expected. The Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC, cut its benchmark rate by 25 basis points to a range of 4.25 to 4.5. In what was the third rate cut of the year since the first cut in September, Fed members now appear to be easing away from a deep rate cut cycle, betting on fewer cuts ahead. Fed members now see the benchmark rate falling to 3.9% for next year, suggesting just 2 rate cuts compared with the prior. It's going to be way more than that. Trump's agenda is de-dollarization and getting rates to 0 or lower. He wants negative interest rates. I know everybody's jumping up. Oh my God, we're getting negative interest rates. That's the poor people screaming in the streets, folks. If you have any money whatsoever, you want rates to be as high as fucking possible. You want 18% interest rates. Call me crazy, but if I got $10,000 in the bank and I'm getting 18% on it, it's a lot easier to live. Sure, I might not be able to get a loan. Sure, I might not be able to afford a house at fucking 18%. But that's what they used to do. That's just what they don't tell you. That's how they get ahead. Hey, the comments came back. Yes. Yes. But, yeah, what the hell? What? What do rate cuts have? Are people complaining about rate cuts? About me talking about rate cuts? No wonder it shielded me. YouTube shielded me from the comments. I see what was going on. The Lord works in mysterious ways, I tell you what. Let me see. Oh, well, it didn't even upload the comments there, so maybe I should just not look at them. Not 3 as expected. Yeah, what will the rate cut do to us? Oh, what will the... Okay. I mean, as far as... if they keep cutting rates, it's just going to be easy money coming into these sectors. If they're cutting rates and expanding the money supply, it's... Right now, it makes things not so bad. But the moment that things reverse on us, oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is some kind of weird cycle we're in right now. We're in some kind of weird cycle. But listen, everybody, just an educational point. And what does this have to do with XRP? Absolutely diddly squat right now, what I'm about to say. But it has to do with you not falling for the scheme over and over and over. But I can't say too much or I'll be banned. After all, I got to be a good boy. I don't want YouTube to take their aggression out on me. But when interest rates are high, you want it to be 15, 20. God, if we were lucky, 25, 30. After all, you're not buying things on credit, are you? Wink, wink. Because if you are, that's probably why they can sucker you in right now. I buy stuff every month with my credit card, but every single month, I pay it to zero. You don't have to deal with the interest rates, but I still get the benefit of the 5% cash back and all that nonsense. I've got like $2,000 in points that I never used this year. But hey, it's just from purchases. But if you have to keep it on there and you don't pay it off, they get you with the interest rates. Now, what's crazy is how high the interest rates are on a credit card, but what the savings rate is not. So generally, if the interest rate was the national interest rate, you know, like how they just lowered the federal funds rate, it's going to be 4.25 to 4.5. If it was 18.5 to 20, like back in the Ball Volcker days, when you put $100,000 in the bank, every single year you're getting $18,000 on the spot, at least. When there's 0% interest, you get $0 on your money. Your money does dick for you. When it's negative interest rates like Trump wants, then we have to pay our bank to hold our money. That's not a joke. You would have to pay to take out a mortgage even more than you do because now it's negative. You'd have to pay them to loan you money. Wait until this happens, folks. We will have to pay to keep our money in the banks. We will have to pay to take out a loan. So if you need a $100,000 loan and it's a negative 4% interest rates, they'll give you the money, but you're going to have to pay them negative. It's negative. Some scenarios, for loans, they won't even be available because there's some scenarios there they'd have to actually, you would pay them to keep it open. Like, who's going to do that? Now you got to pay the interest rates or actually the fee that they're going to charge you. It's going to be a big mess. Any money in the bank, if it's negative 1%, negative 5%, people are, oh my God, it's going to be negative interest rates. It's going to be so easy to buy a house. How are you going to buy a house? You can't even afford to keep the money in the bank. And they'll determine how much it would cost. So just be careful with all that. And I like Trump. He's a boss. Like before he was president, I used to watch what he would do with real estate and stuff and how to understand the tax code. He's a boss. You know, he turned millions into billions. You got to respect that. You know, but at the same time, I understand what we're living through. So we have to be honest with ourselves. Like, we don't want negative interest rates and we certainly don't want the dollar to be de-dollarized. That's what we live on. That's why we're going digital. There's no coincidence. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I don't even care about the rest of this garbage. 0.25% interest rate and everything they say about next year is irrelevant because they're going to do what they're going to do next year. XRP's dropping. That my whole theme today has been around more of how far are we going to drop because we got rejected at 271, which was expected at 272, I should say, expected. This is still not out of the realm, but once we didn't hit 257 and hold, and then we fell below 249. Now it opens the door, remember, from yesterday to 236. But we're really close to possibly bottoming out in this little part of this pattern. Now, we talked about this yesterday. If this sways here, and you have right here, and then it comes down and creates like a big inverse pattern farther down, it can still do that by coming right here and back testing 215. Now, I think that's a little out of the realm of where we should be reaching right now. We should be reaching for a drop to about right here. If we come down here, it'll be interesting because it has the chance of just completely reversing this pattern. But at the same time, this dragon's pattern is not invalidated by the least. Tail's a little bent. That's all. It hasn't done anything yet. I could draw a tail out right now, like I did yesterday when it was up there, and I said, what if the tail actually sways down and then it swings, you know, like, hey, it's a swagging tail. I don't know. There's got to be crevices and creases in a dragon tail somewhere. But the pattern's not busted, so there's a lot of things that are so weird. Like Ethereum. Look at Ethereum. We talked yesterday. It doesn't look good. But even now, Ethereum's only at the break point we talked about yesterday. And it's so it's so weird because you could even come down to there. You could come down to here without busting it. That's what's weird about this. It still looks like a huge inverse head and shoulders there as well. Like, I don't know if they're trying to literally have the biggest bear trap that I've seen in a while, or if this is the start of the end. We've talked about the start of the end scenario, and we're not there yet. We're not even close to the start to the end, but the start to the end has to start somewhere. Could it have been the rejection at 271? I don't know. But as of right now, I'm not going to even start to panic in any kind of way thinking that this pattern invalidated itself until it breaks that line. I'm putting that line in the sand, and until you cross that line in the sand, this is just part of the game. Inverse head and shoulders. You're not fooling me until you don't, until you can't. And then if it reverses and breaks down, well, you don't have to fool me. We're screwed anyhow. So that's how I'm playing this. Plus, you know, this is what I'm seeing. No. That's just when you start to worry. You be worried when this head breaks. We've talked about this level before. $1.85. It just happened that this didn't come down there. Once $1.85 breaks, then you worry. And the reason for that is just watch. I've drawn this out before and I'll draw it again. And like, I'm not bullish nor bearish. I'm just, some days I'm more bullish, some days I'm more bearish, depending on the charts. Today I'm a little more bearish for obvious reasons. But remember, be very, very afraid if this comes like this. And what happens if it breaks through here? Right now, it could still be up. This is possibly a Batman top, but if it saves itself, then we've seen this a lot where it's like, whoa, wait a minute. This was actually a much bigger W than I was even anticipating, right? So be careful with that. But if it breaks down deeper, you can obviously see the big top, the topping reversal. Once this part of the pattern is invalidated, this pattern ceases to exist right here. Once that becomes invalidated, which would mean if it does something like this, and then comes down, this part's invalidated, the pattern's busted, and then it's just, you're done. And that's why I said you would get one chance to sell probably around $2, maybe $1.80. Even if you didn't sell all the way through, you know, it would probably come back up here, and that's probably an area that it could tap. But that's the worst case scenario. But this $1.85, like I showed you worst case scenario. If it hits here and breaks, it goes down there no matter what. That's why I said if it busts $1.85, we're basically done anyhow. But right now, we're okay, technically, if this area doesn't break right there. Because you could still say, hey, you know, maybe it just need a little more help here, right? But if it breaks down farther than that, you can see how this pattern just fills out too much, and it's just too much. It's too much. That's why I put it at $1.85. But we can clearly see where that wick is. It's exactly where I was talking about in that range. But $1.85 is where I had it before. I'll just keep it there because that is the spot where if that breaks, it's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble. And then if we go back to the chart that I think is the easiest, what the hell? I think TradingView just kind of froze on itself. But the chart that's easiest Man, I'm so glad that we did what we did with B2 Gold at $2.82 or $2.80. It was so obvious what they were doing with this. It was so obvious what they were going to do with commodities. It's disgusting how they do this all the time, and I always have to be on alert to sell. It's ridiculous, and they're doing it with crypto now. Just look at this. Everything's just it's going right back to that same old game we play time after time after time after time. Feels like the same great thing that we see over and over and over. We get a rate cut. You would think that precious metals would be fucking flying with the rate cut. No, it has to drop. You would think. I mean, it's always the same shit, everybody. It really, really is. And it gets you to a point where I know eventually we're going to have to exit stage left out of crypto and we're going to have to let it play out. But today, until that, like in 21, the technical target was hit. And when it failed to hit $2 and break it, we knew we were done. A little bit of FOMO on my part because I didn't want to sell it until it confirmed the right shoulder, which it did at a solid $1.73 and at $1.66. I was like, damn it. Could be the same case here. That I didn't sell at $3 area, $2.92, and then when it comes down to $2.20, $2.10, if it shows me that it's a different setup. It's a different scenario. We haven't topped out yet. The descending wedge target is $5.49, and it's irritating me. Because this is what always ends up happening. We do this up 10% to go down 10% to go up 12% to go down 12. I mean, look, we're down 6% today, but just last week we were talking at $1.88. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it depends where you pick your poison. Like, was I more nervous at $1.90 or $2.41? It's actually a very good question. And the problem is the hype stations that are popping up everywhere now. Not just the ones that were there before, but it's everywhere. When I go on TikTok, all of a sudden everybody's an expert. That's when I start to get that's when it starts to get worrisome. When I start to see everybody's an expert, all the wisest traders said, when your shoe shiner can predict the stock, it's time to get the fuck out. Time to exit stage left. And now all of a sudden everybody's an expert. Everybody's an expert. Remember just 6 short months ago, 3 short months ago, 1 short month ago, we were criticized for saying anything good about XRP. You guys remember the comments? And now everybody thinks XRP is going to 10, 20. We know it's not going to 10 right now. Or 20 or 50. But I can't say it's not going to 549 because that's the only reason I haven't sold on this run. I'm being dead serious. I know my marking points. And everybody gets mad at me, but you know, that's how we went from 3 digits to 4 digits to 5 digits to 6 digits for some to 7 for some. There's a message on that. You guys can just go back to the recent video yesterday. Somebody commented that I went from 5 digits to 7 digits with Tom. You know, and that's just since 21. So they went from having somewhere between 10,000 and 99,999 to over 1 million. Like I can tell you, I went from under $5,000 in crypto to now over 6 figures since 21. But I wasn't in it the whole time. The big move came here in 24. Oh, I didn't sell anything. No, I didn't say I sold today. I'm saying it gives you the feeling that something might not be right here. We might have to think faster. But we haven't hit that break point yet. But I can tell you my portfolio is massive right now compared to what I would normally like to have sitting in crypto. So it'd be a shame if I watched it go down, 50% across crypto. So, but something, you know, things are shaking out in a weird way. Like, at least I got the message with everybody with the like copy trading and all that I'm not doing it no more. Because I still have that Ethereum Classic trade open in a spot because I know it'll sit and go up and down for years if I want it to. And, you know, there's only 4 people left because there were so many people that started to not pay attention to spot and only care about us doing good in leverage that I stopped that. That's too cheap. Now, what would you do right now if you were in leverage, huh? Even when you're on the long or short, you'd be crushed. So when I felt the market dynamic change, and that all ends, Because this isn't, this is, remember 2 weekends ago when I said starting next week, and there's a video, but it says starting next week, the manipulation in crypto will become apparent or something like that. I talked about that a couple weeks ago, and look what's happened in the last 2 weeks. You've had up and down, left and right. You turn away, you get crushed, you walk away, it goes back up, you come back in, it goes away. Like literally, this is crypto. That sucks. Today. But what about tomorrow? Maybe it won't suck. Right? And December 18th, I hate December 18th. It's my least favorite day of the year, by the way. So as happy as I was yesterday, as much as I hate today. Does anybody know why I hate today with a passion? Not because XRP is going down 7.5%, crypto's crashing. Does anybody know why I hate December 18th in my audience so much? It's my least favorite day of the year. And my favorite month of the year. And my favorite week of the year. But it's my least favorite day of the year. Make it make sense. No, my birthday was yesterday. I like my birthday. I turned 41 yesterday. Oh, I don't like December 18th because that's when I broke my back when I was 23 years old. The day after my 23rd birthday, I broke my back in a car accident because some douchebag drove way too fast, ran a red light. You know, so anyhow, that's why. For anybody who doesn't know. I'm a lot better now than I was, but that never goes away. But that's what I don't like. Great, love getting liquidated for 2,500 XRP. Exactly, Jack. That's the problem right now. That's the yeah, that was 18 years ago. Yeah, today. 18 years ago today, I broke my back. That's crazy to think it's been that long now. They told me you'd never walk without a cane. I sure showed them, though. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I learned a lot in that 18-year stretch. But down 7 points. But let that be a lesson. See, I'm going to use an example from the audience. Liquidated for 2,500 XRP. Yes, a small portion of your XRP, but just for even you, don't leverage your XRP bag if you're doing leverage trading. Don't even use it on the same exchange. Don't even have it in the same wallet. My leverage money, which is nothing now because it's just spot. It used to be like $200. And that wasn't even on the same exchange that I held my stuff. Like, don't let that happen. Don't do that. That I don't like that happened. But learn from it. Like, these are good mistakes to learn from. These are good mistakes to learn from. Not even mistakes. These are just good things to know that can happen in the market. Because look, in all reality, once it busted this pattern and we lost this support, and then we lost the support at 249, the first position that should have even been thought about was 234 on a long. Oh, good. Okay, so Jack understands. So he's a veteran trader, so he's got funds elsewhere. Okay, Jack, I'm just making sure. Well, I was, like I said, I was using you as an example for somebody else who might not understand or might be in the same situation. So I'm glad that you at least have it separated so you get it. You get it. But right now, $2.34. But at the same time, right here at $2.17, I would say that's worse. I don't want to have a moment like in 2021 where I just am like, ah, fagoo. Oh, it hurts that it came all the way back down here, though. Remember what I said before? If it comes back down here, it's trouble. No, yeah, yes. Cade, that's the problem. I don't disagree with you. That's what I'm saying. Now that it broke down at 272 or 271.40 area, now it's a problem. Oh my God, I got half my station left, Mike. Half the people left in my audience. It was crazy. Let me go back to the uptrend. Sorry, I'm on the other chart. right here. And now, I mean, you can see how we came below the uptrend now. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's XRP. You see how we came, but that's the problem right now. This is the problem. That's the problem. And now, remember our saving grace, that 222? I mean, now we've got a problem, because now if we back test and reject, we've got an issue. Like, we have an issue. We've officially started an issue. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue, but we've officially started a problem. If we come back below right here, that's why this area is so important. 214 on this. I mean, we've officially started something here. Is this just a back test? Because this is good right now. Listen, if you understand the pattern, you shouldn't be worried yet. What have I talked about the last 2 days? If it got rejected at 272, don't panic, because inverse head and shoulders could illuminate itself out of here. So just be careful. The only place I know of to buy XRP Healthcare, if it works on the app, is the L-Bank app. It's the only place I can buy and sell right now. Coinstar took it off for the, they delisted it in the US. I don't know why they don't want anybody to own it in the USA, but it's become very difficult, so I'm not selling it. But this doesn't look bearish to me is the problem. It doesn't look bearish to me yet. It's got to break down still. It's still got to break down. Why do we not leverage with the same wall? It's because if you're leveraging with the same, see, I don't like the leverage to begin with. I had straight up. That's why I stopped all that crap. Too many people were getting too enthralled in it when we were in a bull market. And the moment that the wool gets pulled, everybody's gonna thank me that they're not doing it still. Like today. The reason I don't think you should keep it in the same wallet is because let's say you got 10,000 XRP. Oh, well, let me sell $200 of my XRP. It's worth 10 times more, or what was it? It's worth 4 times more than you paid for it for some of you, right? Let me just sell some of it. Well, now you put that $200 in. You're missing a few XRP. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe where it is right now, you're missing 100 XRP, right? So you go do the leverage trading. You say, I'll put it back the moment that I get that money back. You lose the money. Then you say, well, I got to make up for that 150, 100 XRP. Now let me take out 200 XRP. Now you're down 300 XRP. Well, it starts to spiral very quickly in the gambler's world. Look at this in the same way as gambling, sports betting, going to the casino. Because now you're going to want to hold what you had. Well, most people who are taking out against their XRP for leverage trading purposes don't have the money to leverage trade to begin with because they're taking out of their holdings. That'd be the same thing as me taking out a bill money to go to the casino, and it's not actually saved money that's not going to use. It always is going to use, but what I'm saying is it's not there to do an immediate expense. Like now you're going to the casino saying, hey, I'm just going to take 100 of my electricity bill, and then once I make it back, I'll put it back. But then you lose 100. Now you got to take out another 100 out of the cable bill so that you can try to win back the electricity bill. And now you lose them both. Now you're taking out the rent money to try to pay back the electricity and the cable. Now you lose it all, and now you're like, uh-oh. What started at $100 or 100 XRP has now spiraled into my whole house payment or your 10,000 XRP. I've seen it happen before in this community many times. I don't know. I hope that makes sense, but that's the main reason why I said, you know what? I'm not even offering any kind of copy trading. I'll open a 1x trade and we can ride or die with it until the end of time just so somebody can be involved. That was it. And that's what I did. And that's how it's going to sit, just to deter people from doing it. Because I see what's going on with the exchanges, believe me. I've been around too many exchanges now to see exactly the loophole. But that's it. It's never any different. And until that changes, we're always going to get this weird volatility. And right now, that doesn't necessarily make me feel good. Yes, it can be an inverse head and shoulders. Yes, it can be all this stuff. Yes, the dragon pattern, blah, blah, blah. But still, it doesn't make me feel good when I can see an M topping, a big Batman top in front of me. Yes, manipulation. 100% manipulation. Because look, if we have an equal but not opposite reaction, now if it comes down here, you're talking about now it's coming to... I still want to say that we're okay because we haven't got the official double top at $2.92. The fact it came all the way up there, it seems very unlikely from a longer standpoint, like taking it out into the daily or the weekly, that you wouldn't come back up here for a daily retest. It just seems so weird. Like it's just weird. It is, because it's gapped still from the top. Like we talked about the lower FVGs, but we haven't come back there yet. We haven't. The closest we came was $2.07. That's not even close. We're 20 cents off still. We could say those are just wicks, and then with the body, we came up. That's where it scares me. See the daily body? The daily body is only at 259, and we came up to 256 on this time. That's a bit different. But it still seems like it needs to build that structure. Like, this just seems like an inverse right arm around the top side of a breakout in the channel. These are the ones where it'll get you wondering. These are the ones that'll get you thinking. How much volume was there? Is there anything to make me jump off the roof? Well, I don't know, because the 4 hours only, look at this. The 4 hour, this is where you're like, uh-oh. Like, do I see a surge? Well, the 15 minutes into the 4 hour candle, and we've already got 2.44 million in volume sold. It seems like something's happening here. Seems like we got a bit of a surge in volume here, doesn't it, all of a sudden? Oh, yeah, patience. It's all about patience. I'm just saying in the short term, we're having fun. Just like when I talk about the breakouts, I have equal passion in breakdowns because it helps me. It helps me understand, like, as long as I'm non-biased, I can do this. But if I get biased one way or the other, then it's not good. So right now, I know what's going on here. We need to at least make sure to get past this resistance at 249 now. Before we break down we'll just say we have to break above $2.50 before we break down $2.10. How's that? As long as we're trading in the range of 210, no, maybe it's a little bit lower. As long as we're trading in the range of $2.05 and $2.50, it is what it is. It is what it is. Once we start trading back within this, what I call the flag channel, because some people got mad when I called it a falling channel or a down, whatever. In the flag channel, once it gets back in here is when it gets nervous. You get nervous because then it opens the door to $1.57. And I don't know about you, but if I'm looking at $1.57, I'm not, some of you might soil your shorts at that point. Because if it's looking like this, we're like, oh my God, what the hell is that? We could only be so lucky to see what my thumb did to make it go up like that. So, So, I'm very bullish and very bearish at the same time, if that makes sense. Because of the manipulation, no matter how bullish I get, I'm always overanalyzing it. No matter how bearish I get, it's always unwarranted in the sense of the manipulation will always turn it around for a split moment. We have overzealous moves. But right now, that volume doesn't say overzealous. The volume in that 15 minutes was a lot. What drew in that 2.4 million in volume? What drew in the surge on this exchange, which will be equal across exchanges? Does it carry on in this 15 minutes? Or was this just a manipulated dump to get out the leverage so it can go higher? Good question. So speaking of the leverage, I'm so glad somebody brought up leverage, about the leverage traders. And another reason why, this whole RLUSD thing is getting annoying to me. I just didn't think it was possible for so many people to be misled about a stable coin. It's a piss poor influence. Oh, excuse me. I don't want to go there. But listen, this is what disheartened me. And right here is when I said I'm done. I'm not talking leverage anymore. Right here. When I seen, just hear me out, $1.7 billion got liquidated across crypto and Bitcoin's at 97,000 there. Even with the drop today. Even with the drop today, we're at 101,000. That means from here to there, Bitcoin's up 4,000, which means XRP's up from $1.88 to still $2.30, 25. I don't know where the hell it's at right now. The point is it's up over time in spot. Anybody who leverage traded is getting bamboozled right now. They're not just getting taken out to the woodshed. The woodshed came to them. Like, they didn't even have to look for it. They were taking a shit and they ended up in a woodshed and they were getting their ass kicked. Like, no pun intended. But that's what's happening right now. Like, look at all this. That's too much liquidation. Do you know how tempted I am to throw like $75,000 into silver out of my crypto portfolios? Not touching XRP. But I'm being dead serious. Do you know how tempted I am to do that? And not the precious metal. I'm talking about just taking out a spot trade. And then as silver goes up over time, just start reincorporating it back into. I'm not even joking. But, you know, it's as many times as I think that as many times as I don't do it. You know, as of right now. But I could definitely do it now, and it's. Oh, no. I don't. No, listen. You don't have to worry about owning the iSilver Trust. You just have to worry about getting it delivered on hand. Like, you're not going to get it delivered to you. If you want to own it, you got to have the precious metal. The physical is all I trust. I'm saying if I wanted to store it into like silver iTrust, into a silver trust, while things are shaking out in the future. But, you know, I wouldn't do that because I can just trade in different, I could put it in the PAXG on some of my crypto exchanges. I could put it into different things that would be the metal. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to have paper when you're holding XRP. What do you mean? Because I'm holding a speculative, one of my speculative trades. You must be newer around here that don't know that I actually have a substantial holding of precious metals of gold and silver, and that I have commodities and stuff. But I think these motherfuckers. Oh, I like what Alice said. Let me read what she said. Coming in with the fire today, Alice. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. So that's Bitcoin, right? What should make our skin crawl in this community is the XRP numbers. XRP on this very day, on just these exchanges, Binance, OKX, Bybit, HTX, BitMEX, CoinEx, BitFinex, there was $67 million liquidated at $2.21. The crazy thing is we're above that right now. And look how much money long and short's been liquidated and the price is up. Think about that. We're at $2.35. And today, we've had 25 plus another 25, so that's 50. Plus another 18, that's 68. Plus another 10, 78. I'm just estimating. 89. Whoops. We'll just call it 100 million total. 110. 123. That's where it starts to get big. 163. You know, 230 million. So let's put it this way. $230 million. And this is the problem with leverage. Whether you're long or short, save it because it happens to both sides. Especially when the volatility is as great as it's been the last couple of days. But $240 million from December 8th to December 18th has been fully liquidated. Not stop lossed out. Fully 100% liquidated. And at that same time, if every single one of those people would have put that $240 million in, since the majority would have been put in on the 8th, they probably would be sitting at an average somewhere at about $2.28, I would say would be fair based on the prices I'm seeing. Just because of the volume that went in back here. Yeah, maybe $2.30. But you get the picture. Maybe it comes up 10 cents to $2.31. It would still, the price is at $2.35, so you'd still be pretty much even, if not up a little bit. You certainly wouldn't have lost $240 million. Do I have to pay taxes to move my XRP from Coinbase to my cold wallet? Technically, you're not selling it, but it might show a differential on Coinbase. You'll just have to explain that you never sold it. Like you wouldn't put it as a sale. You haven't sold it, so technically no. You're just switching it from one exchange to the next or wallet to wallet. So it'll show the plus minus on your exchange at the end of the year. So that's not a sale though. But I'm not saying like there's no correction. What do you mean there's no correction? This is a correction when we came down, what, 271 to 228 or whatever we just hit isn't a correction? That's exactly what a correction is. It's also a back test. We're correcting. Well, what's wrong with the word correcting? We are correcting. Even if we go up now, we've already corrected. You know, like we gotta be straight with our words, everybody. Like I think we put too much fear into this all. We put too much fear. Exactly, Adam. That's why I keep saying it. We're correcting, but that doesn't mean we've broken down. See, the breakdown is what we're worried about. The correction's fine. We're in the corrective phase. Oh, I get it. I get it now, actually. It pains my soul now that I keep saying it. How many times did I say we were in the corrective phase over 2 years? Oh, man. You're right. We got to find another word, Adam. I actually understand what you're saying now. That word actually, I don't really want to go back into that phase again. You know, this is the back test phase, we'll call it. We're just back testing. How about that, Adam? We're back testing. We're just back testing, a good old-fashioned back test. So in the 5-minute, we're 2.31 to 1 long versus shorts. That's 69.76% going long to 30.24% going short. We've got in the 30-minute, 4-hour, and the daily 2.3 to 1 going long to short. So that means somebody in the leverage trading is going long compared to short. 69.67% going long, 30.33% going short. You would think that the longs are the only ones getting slaughtered, but when you look at the liquidations, it's going to speak interesting story, doesn't it? The longs did get slaughtered at 19 million, got liquidated, but also the shorts in the last 24 hours, which is unbelievable if you think about it, with how the prices come down from $2.72 to under $2.35. $5 million in short traders got liquidated too. So think about that. 5 million in short traders got liquidated in the last 24 hours, and the price went from 272 down to 235. What happened? Oh, that's right. It went from 245 to 272 to 235 or 232. So it's not just the longs that are getting liquidated, it's also the shorts. So like when people say, why don't you short if it's going down? Because if you're a leverage trader, it's interesting. I enjoy Tom discussing leverage trading. None of my friends are into it. No, yeah, I mean, you're only liquidated if you sell. I'm gonna have to read the rest of that. If you're a leverage trader, it doesn't matter if you want to sell or not. You're liquidated. You're only liquidated if you sell. If you stay in, you're not liquidated. Just wait for it to come back. 777 DW round, yes, and spot. And spot 777 DW Brown, that is absolutely correct. But in leverage, when you are liquidated, you are liquidated. That's why somebody in the audience said that that they lost 2,500 XRP because their position got liquidated. And there's a big difference between spot and leverage. That's why I always try to differentiate and try to teach. I always try to teach about it. But yeah, I mean, but we've basically seen everything. We've talked about everything we need to talk about in this live. Like, it's going to get interesting. You guys are going to start to see, like, we need the buzz to start dying down a little bit on XRP. Like, that's when we start to get truly excited again. Like, that's just me. That's just me. And, like, if you think it's just crypto that took a dump, it's not. Look at gold's down 44 bucks an ounce. What have I talked about with gold? Like, I'm not married to anything, even though I love gold. What was my personal expectation? Where did I think it was going? I drew it when we broke the rising channel a long time ago. That was my personal expectation of gold. I don't know if it can come all the way down to 23.96. I don't know. It came all the way down to 25.34 before. I don't know if it just needs to come down one more time for a correction. I don't think it can come all the way down there because of how oversold we're going to get getting down there. But look how quick we dumped here. Maybe it does just need to come down here a little bit. Maybe it just does need to make this a new uptrend point. But I'm not married to anything. So, like, I understand the charts and I understand what the repercussions are when a certain part breaks. When that rising channel broke, we knew it was trouble for gold right now. And that's not bad. I've watched gold come up from 1,600 with all of you. And now, oh my God, we're retracing to 2,600 or 2,300. It's not that bad. This is what happens, but it's going to flip I'm telling you, we're going into I hope one of these days that I get to sit on the air and say, guys, We got the sell signal at $2.82 or $2.80 on B2 Gold this time around. I hope I'm sitting here with all of you and saying, guys, we just got the steal of a lifetime. We bought B2 Gold at $1.97. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd get it at $1.97. Never thought I'd get it below $2 again. And at $1.97, I mean, we'd be pushing 5,000 shares, probably 4,500, and I sold out 3,500. So we're already making massive gains here, just even if we bought it today. But this is different than crypto. When I saw it at B2 Gold, it's not the same tax hit. This is a cumulative plus minus. You know, it's the same in crypto, but it works a little bit different because it's such a higher rate. It's so I can buy and sell the same day, and I'm not. There's different things I can do in commodities that I can't do. So that money just sits there, like I said. Did I want to sell? No, I didn't want to sell it. I love B2 Gold. And I got the dividend payment, and that's when I'm like, you know what? There's no reason to even hold it. We got our dividend payment. The same day I got the dividend payments, the day I sold, that's the day it got rejected. Well, you'll come to find out in commodities, the day of the dividend payment is often the time that it has some extreme volatility to the downside in the days to come. But this is insane. This is the capitulation of the U.S. dollar as we speak and stand. And remember, why is crypto going down? Look at it this way. Why is gold going down? In this one scenario, we can put them on an equal ground. When the U.S. dollar is artificially rising like this, it makes everything cheaper for the moment until it revalues. So right now, everything looks cheaper than it really is because the U.S. dollar is going up. I'm telling you, that's what's happening. When you're buying something, it's not costing you as much right now, so everything becomes to go on sale. See how the Dow is down? See how commodities are down? See how gold and silver is down? It's all becoming cheaper. All becoming cheaper. Exactly. Exactly. The person who just commented understands exactly what I'm talking about. Kudos to you, my friend. Kudos for you for understanding the monetary policy and the way that economics actually work. Because not a lot of people I've come across really understand it. Look, we're getting slaughtered. We're getting absolutely beaten down behind the woodshed right now. My baby DGB is down 7.7%, and it's faring very well compared to some of the other ones. 8th bar is faring the best. Look at this. We're getting absolutely slaughtered. Slaughtered. But because we're in spot, you know, after a slaughtering, you're going to have a mild uptick. Like, that's what I keep saying. You can make your decision if you've been in this rally since the beginning and make your decision. But when that dollar starts to reverse, like, we need liquidity crashes like this. But just be thankful that the liquidity grab is coming in crypto. Didn't we just have an artificial rise up not too long ago? Like, that's the good part of this. That's the good thing. Unfortunately, to make a point with the whole spot and this and that, I have to eat a little bit because I wanted everybody just to see the up and down. And I wanted everybody to stop the leverage trading. So I put a 1x in there, but that money's got to stay now to prove the point. And that's down like $200 right now, probably. And that's spot. But because it's spot, it's not being liquidated. That's the whole point. You know, when it's a spot trade, you're not afraid to lose your whole position. Hell, even if it's 30% down, you can say, you know what? I've lost $600. I don't know, I'm just an example. But this is enough. I got a couple $1,000s left in it. I think I've met my end and I'm done with crypto. Some people will say that and then they'll just sell it. But if you leverage trade it, you can't do that because it's all gone. Make no mistake about it, folks. We're not done yet. It's just yesterday we knew that Ethereum gave us a bad signal, a very bad signal. We knew it. We knew it, and we talked about, oh, man, if this is the pattern that it's really playing within, maybe Ethereum does come down to 3,438. You know, even if it's still going. And that's, or we can start some kind of an uptrend here. We'll see. We'll see. So we'll talk soon, everybody. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Don't get disheveled. Don't get discouraged. You're going to notice a lot less people here in the days to come. Just know that means we're on the right track. And that's not because of our community. That's not because of you. That's not because of me. That's because the apparent rally for most is going to seem like it's coming to an end. And this is the painful part because we did not get over that 272. This is the struggle now. So you have a lot of hard decisions to make, as we all do, but we still have a massive, remember this, inverse head and shoulders here. So I've shown it 5 times probably during this live. Don't underestimate this inverse head and shoulders that is set up here, folks. Because now it's pushed out. This is the old one. Let me just redo it like I had it. Because if this is playing out, this is just a big distraction. Right? If that's playing out, this is... And the consolidations happen. I can't wait until we meet again to see how this actually plays out. Looks bleak right now, but just remember... Our dragon did not fly away. It hit a brick wall. And now it's trying to stabilize before it falls back down into the deep, dark pits. You know, so... Right now it's not dead. It's just the tail's a little unorthodox. 100%. 100%. When they announce law, 100%. We'll get more into that too later. I just got to go because I have this stuff to do and I got to get this stuff ready. But yeah. We'll meet again, everybody, but I do have to go. I promised Julie that I would help her get this stuff done.